To battle, packmates, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Orion Pirates, I'm Fleet Admiral Tirok of the heavy battlecruiser Call of the Wild, reporting to you live from the planet of 213, recently captured from the Hydran Star Kingdom. And last time we captured 213, we were doing pretty decently. Our ship got a little bit banged up. It's going to need a little bit of repairs for it, but all in all, we've been doing rather good. That leaves one last fortress, one last bastion, one last defensive line for us to conquer, and that is the planet of 413 with an Empire defense of 45. So let's get our ship patched up and repaired, as well as the pseudo-frigates to go with it, since they are not insanely important, but decently useful to have in a pinch. It's not like they're Romulan ones, which are packing a ton of additional weaponry. So, without any more talking, let's set out and immediately start trying to cause some havoc. I'm really tempted to just jump for this planet. The danger of just jumping for a Hydran planet is if we run into a battle against the planet itself, we run the risk of unfortunately having to siege a planet that is fully defended, and that is no small task when you're playing as Lyrans. So let's red alert and sit still. Yes, we have that similar problem that most high-end Lyran ships have, where you go to red alert and then you don't move. And in fact, even though we're not moving, not doing anything at all, our heavy phaser Bs are not charging. They require a little bit more energy to do anything. And so we're just going to have to sit here and chill for a little while, wait for all of the system to come on. It does say that we have half a point of power to still use. However, that's because you can't partially start charging these heavy phaser Bs. You either got the energy to do it or you don't. And we don't. So now that we have some energy available, we're going to kick up the speed a little bit, come over here to our electronic countermeasures and max those out to the maximum level that they can stand at. Also buff up the forward shield for any sort of defenses that may give us, although when you're fighting Hydrans, half the time they don't care because they have very large helpwork cannons. We have located our target. We're going to increase speed so we can cruise on in there at a reasonable pace. That's what, 17, 18? Not super fast, but it'll do us for now. Hopefully I have resolved the issues with the resolution. Over the weekend, we had started testing our brand new recording software, working on trying to make things a little bit nicer looking, so that we didn't have giant green bars and all kinds of popping on the mic and everything like that. So far, it seems to be going okay, although over the weekend, it was only uploading in 720/60, which I'm not happy about, because, 1080p. Come on, what is this? 2015? Absolutely not. So we're going to continue to come on in here. Yeah, we're going to continue testing the software a little bit, keep trying to dial it in so we get the right balance, mainly the right balance being the highest possible quality we can possibly get, as well as the decent enough voice quality that we can possibly get. And I think we're steadily, slowly getting in on that. As some of you may have noticed, if you watch my other content on the channel, mainly Battletech, that is still being recorded with the old software. That is because I am ahead a couple of weeks on Battletech, which is pretty cool. And so because of that, I get to relax a little bit, but that also means that it's still operating under the old system. So that does also mean that you get the better quality. You don't run into the hiccups of being tested. All that's going to be tested on Starfleet Command. But on the flip side of that, you still have to put up with a couple of minor nuisances. I hope they're minor. Maybe they're gigantic major problems, and I have just been an absolute terrible host by not dealing with them until now. Alright, let's come around, see if we can't take out these fighters. Point defense system, please set up to anti-fighter works. And here we go. Open fire, everything you got. Just blast away. Disruptors, I don't care. If you got it, shoot it. Almost got him. Do I have any? I don't have any other weapons left. We're out. We have nothing to shoot. Oh, that's... Oh. We had a chance. We had a really good chance. And we just didn't make it. We should have turned on the heavy phasers and the lance. And we're actually going to come in there to do a lance run now. So let's line him up, and time for the joust. They did an excellent job of opening him up for the phasers to pass through. Our phaser capacitor ran out of energy trying to keep up with him. The Insouciant, of course, being the name of our enemy at this time. We need to give more time for the phaser capacitor to charge. Also, that's the only lance run we're going to get for a while. Unfortunately, traveling at a speed of 15, also sinking 6 points of power into our electronic countermeasures, yeah, that's not giving us a lot of energy to play with. In fact, even after the phaser capacitor fully charges, I'm not sure we'll have the energy to do anything. Although it's nice that the phaser capacitor is our primary weapon. I thought for a second he deployed fighters. I was glancing away and saw this little star move in the corner of my eye. But no, he did not. His fighters are still at home, desperately attempting to repair themselves. So we're going to line them up, get ready for a nice little disruptor barrage, since he's not going to give me an opportunity to shoot at that weak rear shield. Phasers, on the other hand, should have some fun things to say to him. In fact, let's kick on the ESGs. Oh, he's turned in his course. He's realized, oh, something's gone viciously wrong. And we'll open him up. So he is going to try fly directly away from us, force us to run into a mine, but that's perfectly okay. Our shields are in great shape right now. And just nailing him with some additional phaser fire. And cut him in half with the bubble. The expanding sphere generator. So yeah, the Battletech episodes, they will benefit from this testing period in Starfleet Command, in that when we finally begin our first season of Rogue Tech, we won't have that problem. Although that's a little ways off. But sooner than you might think, I hope. So yeah, they have one last starbase at 514, aside from this massive defensive location. And we're going to take the shipyard assault because I'm not convinced we have the capability of taking on an actual planet. We could rush for the planet and see what would happen, but I think we'd fail. Or, you know, they could send a lot of weight our way. Okay, so we're dealing with a dreadnought, and a light cruiser. These two dreadnoughts both appear to be fairly large. How large do you say? 2 Regent class. And we're being supported by a KDX. Now, to be fair, the Incomparable is not a terrible ship. It's a full D7 cruiser that's been, well, completely and totally modified with X-type weapons, which makes it pretty interesting. Except, he's probably only really capable in AI hands of taking out this light cruiser. Do I try and fight you? I really shouldn't. I think we're going to see how many fighters he's got packing, and then after that happens, we're going to make a more intelligent decision. We don't want to get into a situation like we did last time, where we got jumped by a couple of dreadnoughts and we ended up just getting murdered for it. We do have a couple of more weapons at our disposal in order to take care of that. And in fact, I do actually have my my Orion Pirates guide here. So I'm actually going to take this opportunity as we fly towards the enemy to quickly look through and try and find the ESG Lance. Because that's going to be a relatively important weapon in this battle, I feel. I might be wrong, but hey. Let's see. B-type loses some of its energy when impacting shields, but has an increased damage potential to cause physical damage on the hull on a molecular level once it is penetrated. Okay, so B-type phasers are shield main target. The Lance is a concentrated energy, direct fire version of the ESG field. We need to be at a range of... It's not saying. Fighter disruptors. Interesting problem. So it's looking like the ESG Lance doesn't actually give me any information. Huh. Produces a sphere much smaller than ships carried by a target by way of a guidance field. I don't know what that means, other than you're not actually giving me any actual actionable information to work with. Actually actionable. That's an interesting thing. Let's stick to the KD-7. Ow. Wow. Mr. KD-7 has just been getting mauled here. I have a plan. See if you follow my plan. My plan is to not fight. My plan is also not to run, but my plan is to... Well, our mission is technically to destroy the Star Dock. Ow! I needed that shield, like, really badly. Mainly because I've got that on my tail, and he wants my blood. He's like a vampire. He's really here to make me pain. Make me pain, that's a sentence. Alright, so we're going to rush right for the Star Docks, because we know we have enough alpha firepower to destroy these Star Docks in one pass. So I think we can do it. Shoot it down, please, guys. Okay, we've lost a shield. That's not great. I need full power for this operation to succeed. I think they figured out my plan, guys. On the bright side, have you seriously lost a whole shield? Wow, this KDX is just being beast mode out here. He's gonna die, but, you know, he's doing a great job. I'm gonna run for it. I'm gonna seriously, because if he does enough damage, I might be able to swoop in here and do something about this, but our mission is to destroy this Star Dock. That's the primary goal. Ain't nobody told me that I gotta destroy everything else. We're here to destroy the Hydron shipyard in the sector, and that's it. So we're gonna give that a shot. How's our repair? Are we good? Belt armor handled everything. So these are missile defenses, so we should hopefully be able to just fly into them and take them out. And our G-type Gatling phasers will cover all vectors, hopefully. Attacker ship destroyed. Okay, so just us at this point. Not as much distance was gained as I had hoped. Never mind. So I had been hoping that we wouldn't have to worry about these guys at all. But it looks like that's not going to happen. Alright, ESG to minimum range values. This is going to be an interesting fight, because I'm just going to try and dance around them the whole fight and then get back in here. We don't really have the weapons load to deal with that. Not as much as I'd like, but let's see what we can do. Okay, didn't hurt him as much as I had really been needing. Marines, hi. That's not the Marine key. That's the Marine key. 6. I have 4. I've got 100 killers on my nose. Well, we tried. That's... Wait, did I not fire phasers in that pass? Is that why he's alive? Because I'm showing a maximum level phaser capacitor. That's annoying. How fast do you go? 26? I cannot run you technically. Do I just cut my losses? Because this is not going to be good. Phasers. Yeah, I gotta cut my losses. We're out of here. I'm down a shield, and it's an important shield. And I've got a lot of fighters coming towards me, and 2 dreadnoughts. Maybe if I'd stuck with the DX, we might have gotten something out of that? Ow. But this is not the time or the place. So give me a sensor reading, please. Oh, there's the edge. Right off to our right. So we'll make a quick turn to starboard and get on out of here. And we'll say it was a draw. Seriously, these guys are just laser accurate. I do have a pretty decent defense shift going on here. Okay, I guess I don't. What the heck happened? Oh, because all the weapon systems are trying to charge right now, and they're sapping all my important power. Well, it's not a major deal. We're out of here. Just cut losses and run. So, goodbye. Yeah, that's a lot of firepower. The major issue is if you don't have local superiority, you're dealing with just waves of fighters. And that's the problem the DX ran into. He had to deal with waves of fighters, and he just didn't have the point defense to handle that. He did a good job, don't get me wrong, and he really did maul that one dreadnought. Maybe if we had stuck close to him, we might have dealt something. But a Klingon DX against 2 dreadnoughts, I don't think Klingon ships are that good. Not that good. So we took a little bit of damage, unfortunately, and they are still alive, also unfortunately. It'll take a little bit more pressure on them in order to actually crack that, which we shall attempt to pull off. Shipwreck Assault, we'll take it again. Yeah, the Enigma mission could probably be easier. In fact, it would have been easier, but I worry about stability sometimes, and so going towards missions I have a reasonably high chance of thinking it will pass. I'm a little bit biased towards going towards them. We've got a frigate, a light cruiser, and a heavy cruiser, which is a much nicer setup when you're a C5 and a XCA. The C5, of course, being a light dreadnought, is fast, it's nimble, it's quick, and because it's an X-series upgrade, it's got a lot of phaser X's, which is a hilariously powerful upgrade to such a light dreadnought. Really, any ship that has a decent number of phasers and not a whole ton of heavy weapons gets a massive upgrade when you go from phaser 1s to phaser X's. Or, in Klingon's cases, phaser 2s and really weird arcing phaser 2s, all up to phaser X's. So we've got an LBX, an LNH, and an HGN. We'll take the LBX because I'm worried about his cluster rounds. That was a mild Battletech joke, and if you didn't get it, don't feel bad. I barely got it myself. So we're going to kick up here to a full electronic countermeasure system, mainly because they will chase me on this. In previous seasons, we always try and lock down their electronic countermeasures problem. And by doing that, well, we always set them up in a position that if we didn't have enough power to charge our defensive systems, well, then they would get a defense shift. However, if we max out our defenses, the AI panics and thinks it needs to desperately be taken care of. And I anticipate seeing an inversion in these ECM levels very shortly. We probably have enough energy to spare on other things after I give that. Yes, we certainly do. So let's kick up the power a little bit, although I have no problem with letting the Klingons take the lead. After all, that's kind of the thing they like to do. How many fighters am I dealing with here? You've got 3. You're not in range to launch them just about yet. And you've got 2. So unless you're packing like the mother of all fighter squadrons, I think we're pretty safe to just charge on in here with our ESGs on minimal value. Phasers to overload, don't want to forget that one. Disruptors will engage on him, actually. I mean, we hit him a couple of times, so I guess we'll go with that one. Also, he'll be within range of my Gatling phasers. I have no issue with allowing that to happen. Oh, that was a nice counterattack. He opened up his shield to try and deploy a mine, which was a really dumb thing to do, by the way. Never do that. That's just asking for trouble. Seriously, get back here. I'm going to kill you. You can't stop me. I should be within range to fire this phaser. Oh, because it's got a very crazy arc. Okay, there we go. And now all additional weapons. Well, we're close enough. Open them up. And the ESG. Forgot about that. Not quite within range to take him. Although this does give us an ESG field, which is pretty nice to have. Starboard rear shield? Yeah, starboard rear shield is currently in a not-so-great position. But other than that, we're relatively nice. Get nimble little jerk. Just pulling away from me. Come on, give me an open shield. There we go. Just crushing that open. Congratulations, now you're missing half of your shielding. And I think you might give me an actual chance to get in here nice and tight and opening fire with the Gatling phasers, which is a maneuver normally they've been abusing on me. And we hit him for 10 damage because he nailed us with an ESG. Almost got him out of the fight, although his counterattack was quite nasty. So he's down to 11 speed. He's still got a fusion cannon, and that's gonna suck when he fires it. Okay. Double mine right in his path. See how he likes that one. How do you like them apples? I think he's gonna charge them apples. Or is he just not gonna be able to get away? He charged them apples. Not quite sure why he would do that, but that was his plan. The Klingon Dreadnought, of course, the Klothos, is currently being fired on by all of those shipyards, although are you... No, by all of those shipyards. And I'm having to deal with the Highlander, I'm gonna guess he is, and Mr. LBX over here. So we're just gonna try and cruise on in here, keeping a high speed. We don't need that much speed. I'm really tempted just to maul you, but no, I'm gonna stay focused. Laser focused. You can fire at me with your mini cannon all you want. Okay, you have a larger than mini cannon. I'm sorry for insulting you. That was completely unkind of me. There we go, opening him up. Only 39 damage, but we tore through the last of his shields, and hey, ESG before we trail out of range, hopefully, please. Slow down a bit, slow down a bit. Don't get... There we go. Managed to still nail him. He's down to a speed of 3. I think we got him pretty much firmly dealt with. He is between 2 mines. And 2 light phaser blasts was all that it took. Looks like the Highlander is running for his friend because he realizes he does not want to be all alone by an XCA. And we're going to let him continue to run and fire light. Oh, wow. Just nice accuracy, guys. Every single one of those hit. It didn't get through the shields, but y'all hit. So, the Disruptor crews, they're getting an extra ration of whatever it is we drink. And we're gonna go on that cheerfully into the future. Do I have enough energy available to do other things with yet? I do, okay, so I am currently using up all my power to travel and charge weapons. Phaser Bs, of course, taking a little while to get going. And there goes another defender ship. Do not challenge a Klingon Dreadnought if you are not a Dreadnought. Well, actually, no, that's not true. You could probably take out a C5 with a lot of heavy cruisers. And a few light cruisers if you really kind of knew what you were doing. I think we, didn't we take on a Klingon light Dreadnought once in a light cruiser for the Federation? Or maybe I'm just, like, way overestimating my skills and abilities. Against the AI, I actually wouldn't be too terribly concerned about whether or not that would happen, because you couldn't just sit at long range with a Federation light cruiser and just disruptorize everything you've got. Hi. Oh, the Disruptor cruise just nailing every shot. I'm loving it. Alright, so we killed him. So we will actually slow down, nice and gently. I do want to stick close to the Dreadnought, mainly because he's got the point defense system, and he's slowing down. Okay. Director Beam Crew. Hi, grab him, please. I need him. I would like him to be my, well, kind of like a teddy bear, but more like a teddy bear that swats missiles. Do I need to be closer or something? Come on, give me an actual connection to this guy. So that, yes, that's why I want him. He has an anti-missile defense system. I do not, and so I would like to keep him close. There we go. Alright, he's linked, so rotate this sucker so we get him nice and ahead of us so he can deal all the damage. Klothos, just be a little bit careful. Try and work with me here so you don't accidentally run into that. We are going to have to counteract his pace, his speed, his direction of travel. I could actually just like continually bounce him back and forth between those 2 locations. So just sort of waving him around like a baseball bat. Somehow we managed to hit that on our rear shield? What? Not sure how that works, but we'll just go with it. Alright, so we're bringing our own point defense system with us. And now that we're up to speed, let's increase engine power. So this will be the fastest that we can go. It's not particularly quick, but as long as the Klothos... Oh, he might have a target. I think he may have found a target. In which case, it's going to be like a dog on a leash and he's going to drag us along. In any event, it's going to be an excellent thing. No, just stay on target. Come on. Come on. This way. Forward. You can't see. I'm pointing. You can't see it, but I am. Come on. Just... hurting Klingons. Let's just see if we can't keep him heading towards him. He's dragging us off into the corner. Look, if I could rip off the anti-missile defense system you had on board, I would, but I can't. I've got to bring the whole bloody ship with me. I don't really need your weapons. I'm fairly confident I can take the rest of these Stardocks. But you're packing a pretty important piece of defensive technology for me. Just stop doing the wobbly thing. But we will get there eventually. We just need to wait. Unfortunately, because they're missile Stardocks, we can't really rush time, because otherwise, for some reason, the anti-missile defense system becomes less accurate when you do that. Oh, we are in range. Excellent. So he will still be defending me. He's up to a speed of 26, which means he's actually got more speed going than I have. Alrighty, I think he's engaged. There you go. We can let go of you. He's desperate. Incredibly outrunning his missiles. I think we have a couple of missiles coming in towards us, so let's just try and keep close to the Klingon. The Klingons will, of course, defend you against oncoming targets, I guess? Yes, just keep shooting them down. That's all I really need from you. Everything else, don't care. But your AMD, yes, I would like to have that. Seriously, why did the Lyrans never invent an AMD? I just do not understand it. I was about to make an NVIDIA joke, but then I stopped myself because even I'm not that cringy. So we're going to come in here and let them shoot down everything. Yes. So just a little bit more recharge and the phasers will be ready to go. Again, gotta double check. I think we already checked this, but gotta double check to make sure that our phasers are operating on a wavelength, which will allow us to cause the maximum amount of damage. I'm not quite sure what the justification is for the overload, but hey, we're gonna roll with it. And disruptors. Fire the disruptors at a range where they won't hurt me. Here we go. Completely destroyed. That wasted all of his missiles, but... Oh, you almost got me there. I almost didn't see him. Because, you know, the gigantic purple nova. That was close. Because all of our phases were offline dealing with other things, and then suddenly that came in. We're just going to keep the tractor beam set and on. We'll steadily build up a nice little group of them, and then we'll shoot them all down in one go. After all, only 2 missiles is not enough to actually trigger every single shot that we can make from a Gatling phaser, because every single Gatling phaser can fire 4 times. Which is really nice to have, by the way. It's one of the reasons why the Hydrants are such pains to kill. Because every single one of their ships is carrying at least 2 Gatling phasers, which is the equivalent of 8 phaser 3s. Yeah, that's a lot of fun to fight. Especially when they get in nice and close to you and they can just maul you. It's pretty terrifying. Gotta slow down a little bit more, because unfortunately we're not charging up the phaser Bs, and I need those phaser Bs. They deal enhanced damage to hulls, and I only just read that, so... I was under the impression that one of these things stunned systems, and I thought it was the Bs, but hey, I guess it might have been the As. And actually, as long as I'm here, and we're slowly trying to towards the target, and I think my point defense can handle it. Yeah, it is the As. Phaser A comes to when the beam from a Phaser A comes into contact with the hull of a target ship, it has an EMP-like effect on the target's weapon systems. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, ESG to full power, disruptors engage, so that we don't hurt ourselves with our own disruptors, which we do a lot. And bump, and we needed those. Now, the bright side, of course, being that when you're at a range of less than 1, you can't fire missiles. So we were able to just sit there if we wanted to. You still haven't taken this on. He is slow boating it. He is traveling at a speed of 8. Just why? Klingons. No sense of important timing. You know what? I'm going to increase the speed of time regardless of you. I don't care that you take additional missile hits because your AMD is less effective. You're just going to have to deal with that. Yeah, so there. All systems charged, so maximum power. Just all speed. If I have to get there and destroy this thing when that's a dreadnought fighting it, I'm going to have some nasty things to Klingon High Command. Seriously, a C5 is not a, it's not a battlecruiser. It's a fast dreadnought. Steal the kill. Now steal the kill. Ha! Okay, we get to make nasty comments towards Klingon High Command. Someone draft up a comment. I have not quite sure what to say, so I'm going to delegate this one to my crew. And they will come up with truly some scathing remarks about Klingon cowardice. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for today's episode. A successful couple of runs and one running away, but we've got the Empire defense down to 35, which puts it in, well, a vulnerable position. It's been in a vulnerable position, but even more so now. So we take that, we take the starbase down here at 514, that'll be the Hydrons completely done, and these 3 tiles in between, which we'll probably grab as soon as we grab the planet. In any event, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.